Hey everyone, welcome back to Soulcast episode, what are we, 7 now? And you'll notice something a little different this week. We are missing Lucas and Monarch, and I am joined by Jack. Jack.
Yeah, I am by, I'm with, I don't know, both. Yeah.
Yeah, so, who are you, Jack? Why are you here on the podcast as our first ever guest?
Well, Jade and I are colleagues. That's pretty much how I know him.
Yeah, it's how I meet through work.
Yeah, and I just like hang out in this Soulcube server. I don't really make games. I think about them, but I don't make them. But yeah, that's me.
More of a analyst rather than a.
Well, I have game ideas. I just like get busy with stuff that I need to do.
I'm waiting for I'm still waiting for 2-player Snake to come to Steam. 2-player Gravity.
It's
Snake.
coming one day. You know, there is like a game that's very similar.
Really? Does it have Gravity?
It's in 3D.
Oh,
sorry.
3D Snake.
Yeah, it's like on Switch and stuff. It's called Snake Pass.
Oh, there goes your industry shake-up idea.
Yeah. So, but I'm not sure if I had the idea first or not. Probably not, because like the game is like this 3D game. Like it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'll actually have to take a look at that then, because unironically, 2-player Snake with Gravity was actually fun when I went and played it with my brother. I was like, damn, you know what? Not a bad concept at all.
Yeah, like I wanted to finish it these holidays, but
yeah, I thought you said you were gonna be doing more project stuff. All I've been seeing you do is playing Brogue non-stop.
Yeah, I've been doing stuff for uni and like other work and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, do you wanna say that you're a uni student? What?
I am. I'm. Yeah.
Crazy. What are you studying?
I'm studying. Well, I just changed actually. Like I'm so indecisive.
Oh
but
really?
I'm doing. Yeah, I was doing mechatronic engineering, which is like robots and stuff. But I just changed to electrical engineering and computer science. But it's all the same. Like you just go, you learn stuff.
How can you just change that like 1 year in?
Well, I didn't take any subjects that were like specific to mechatronic engineering or electrical engineering. They have a lot of common subjects.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you can just change it.
Oh,
and like it's
cool.
uni. Like no one cares what you do. You could like pick entirely wrong subjects.
Yeah.
And, like, your degree could take like 8 years, and no one would tell you like you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You have to be on top of it. Yeah.
It's great to know the I guess one of the top unis in Australia is so on aware of what their students are doing.
Well, it's not that. It's like that you have a lot of freedom. It's not that, like, they want you to do badly. Like,
they want you to be independent, right? You should be independent anyway if you're going to.
Yeah. If you don't turn up for class or you don't hand anything in, like, no one's gonna be on you about that. It's because it's you. You're paying for it. You're doing it yourself. Like, you're an adult.
Yeah, and I doubt they have much issues with that anyway. It's not like high school where half the kids don't even want to be there.
Yeah, well, most people want to be there or like need to be there. You know?
Yeah.
Like, their parents are like, okay, yes, you must be a doctor. You must be an engineer. Like, and they're like, okay,
oh boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And you're a bit of a podcast connoisseur yourself. I would describe you as. I guess,
yes.
Out of most of my friends, you're probably the one who listens to the most podcasts.
I do listen to a lot. I think there's like 1,000 podcasts in my queue.
Oh my god!
Right now, not like podcast episodes. I think I'm subscribed to like 200 podcasts, but most of them I only listen to like one episode, and then I'm like, this is terrible, but I'll keep it
keep
around,
the
you know?
subscription.
Like, I'm not very choosy. That's the thing. Like, yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I think I would listen to more podcasts if I could like multitask more with focusing. Like when I have someone talking in the background, I lose focus like so much. I drift off. It's like when we're expected to like I guess read through stuff like in class, and then someone else is having like a completely different discussion. My brain can't handle like taking in both things. I don't know if that's maybe because I assume maybe it's because I'm younger and I've developed in a different world where my attention span's kind of like shit,
yeah, I don't know. You're not that much younger than me.
I know.
Don't call me old.
But then, no, I'm not calling you old. I was going to say that, and then, like, my brother, who's 2 years younger than me, he listens to podcasts all the time. That's all he ever does. He's gaming, and he just has podcasts 24/7 in his ear. And
Yeah,
I don't understand how he can, like, focus like that at all. Like, he's talking to his mates while he has a podcast going on.
Whoa, really? Okay,
Yeah.
no, I don't do any of that.
Yeah.
Like, I only listen to podcasts, like, if I'm, like, exercising, like, riding my bike in the bush.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
like-
No, I reckon I could do that. But it's just because, like,
Yeah.
when I'm coding, right, it's too much. It's too much, like, information that's going through my head. Like, I'm trying to...
Anything where I'm...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't have it. That was just elaborating what I was saying.
Okay, yeah. Like, anything where, like, I have to concentrate, I'm not listening to a podcast. Like, I listen to music and stuff, but...
Yeah.
No podcasts when I actually have to think about stuff.
Yeah, when I have to write stuff like essays or whatever, I usually flick my music off too. Like,
oh, really?
yeah. Sometimes, because I just can't... Because if I'm not motivated, then all I just want to do is just dance to the music instead of, writing my thing.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think, like, when I'm... something I have to concentrate, like an assignment or a report or something, I'll listen to, like, stuff I know really well.
Yeah.
So
you're not,
it's
like,
less,
surprised.
like...
Yeah. This is more backgroundy.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean...
And, like, it puts you in a good mood because you know it already,
Yeah.
and you're not, like, trying to evaluate it or whatever, Yeah.
Cool. Now, I don't know what kind of podcast the Soulcast is, to be fair. I don't know if this is something that people listen to more, I guess, attentively, or if it's more of a background thing. Because it's not like, some podcast people have soothing voices. I don't think I have a soothing voice by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, probably not. Maybe if people are into, like, I don't know, Aussie accents, they'll put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But make
Just
sure...
hear, like, 3 really broad Aussie accents.
Cool. All right, that was probably one of the bigger introductions, but first guest, gotta
That's right.
meet the guest. But what we've got filtered up for today is Jack, you're very big on your roguelikes, aren't you?
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite genres. And I've played a few of them. Probably more on the roguelites side, but let's not get into different definitions that much. Like, just play games.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. Genres are are pretty blurry, and
Yeah.
they do some good, they do some not so good things.
Yeah.
But yeah, roguelikes were kind of the indie games that got me into indie gaming as a scene.
Yeah.
Because I was growing up, I got into most of my indie games through Good Games Spawn Point.
Yeah. The classic.
Yeah, so that's where most of it came from. So most of the games they recommended there were the roguelikes like Enter the Gungeon and Risk of Rain, and that's what I grew up on. I think, when did Binding of Isaac come out? Like, do you know?
I think it's like 2009 or something.
Yeah, see, I missed that in my generation, I guess. I'm only like 3 years younger than you, right? 4?
I'm born 2000.
Yeah, I'm 2003, so it's only 3 years, right?
Yeah.
But plenty of games come out in the space of 3 years, and I think I missed that. I missed that and Spelunky. I think are the two.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I don't think Binding of Isaac would have been on Good Games at one point.
Yeah. How did you find it? How did you?
I think. Well, I think what got me into indie games was actually platformers.
Okay. Yeah.
So I played like some of the early platformers, like Cave Story and Super Meat Boy.
All right. Yeah.
And then I knew, like, the designer of Super Meat Boy, Edmund McMillan. He also made Binding of Isaac.
Okay, and that's how you got into it.
So that's probably how I got into roguelikes. And then, like, I think I was like very into like open source and stuff in high school and like that whole kind of world. And then really traditional roguelikes are kind of in that open source.
Yeah, that really
like
sort
tradition.
of yeah, that old school Linux kind of.
Yeah, hackery.
Yeah.
Like, this was made at some like university and it was on the servers, and then like it got
yeah.
There's all that weird stuff about these old roguelikes. Like
yeah. I kind of I've missed out on lots of that. Like, I'm not aware of a lot of that, subculture, that more techie sort of subculture. Because while I make software and I'm into game development, I'm still a filthy Windows user.
Yeah,
and I'm not the most, I guess, proficient in talking about lots of that older school, IT stuff.
Yeah, I guess I was just really interested in it, so like I did all that stuff like installing Linux and things. But yeah,
Yeah, I know.
it's definitely cool stuff to be into.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess Risk of Rain is probably like the mashup of the platformers and the roguelikes into a game.
Yeah.
There. How much hours do you have on it? You have an obscene amount of hours, don't you? Or is that someone
I do.
else?
I didn't realize I had that many.
Yeah.
I think it was because it is like one of those background games. Like
That's true. Yeah,
I would listen to a podcast and play it. Like
that's what I do with. That's what I do now with Risk of Rain 2. Sometimes if I am listening to a podcast now, that is the time I do it, because it gets to a point where you've already discovered everything that is to do with the game. You're just going through the motions now.
Yeah, a lot of roguelikes do have that. Isaac and stuff. Ones where you aren't making like huge decisions.
Yeah.
I find that in a lot of roguelikes, like the real time ones, the decisions aren't as like vital. You just you have to play well over the course of the game.
Yeah,
they're good podcasting games.
I think something that really breaks that. Have you played Necrodancer? Crypt of the Necrodancer?
I haven't. It looks really good. I want to play that.
Yeah,
the Zelda spin-off as well looks really
good. It's like Cadence of Hyrule or something. Yeah. It's only on Switch, so I can't play it.
Oh really?
Otherwise, I would have. Unless it has ports elsewhere, but I know it just released on Switch. But because that is a game where if you turn your brain off for half a second, like you're dead, right? You have to focus the entire run, and because of that, the runs are a lot shorter, obviously. And I guess, traditional roguelikes would have been more of the longer.
I find playing Brogue, like I have to concentrate, which is what I've been playing a lot lately. Playing Brogue, like there's situations you get into where like you have to think about them, like you have to use all your tools.
I know, escape. And because it's not a, well, would you class it as turn based? It kind of is turn based, right?
It definitely is turn based. Yeah. That's the big distinction between like roguelite and roguelike, is like the turn based.
Oh, is it? Is that because all the old school ones were turn based?
Were turn based, yeah.
Oh, cool. And they were definitely like super. I mean, they were, because you only had like back in like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. I don't know when like the roguelites like started coming up.
Some of the oldest ones are from like the 80s.
Oh man,
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, you wouldn't have that much selection of games to play, right? So the games you do have, you probably want to be spending a lot of time on. I guess that could have impacted how they developed to be such long titles.
Yeah, they're long and they're tactical and like, but the thing is like you can die so like often, even in like when you're really highly leveled.
Yeah. Do you find
the dungeon levels around you, right? Like, yeah.
Do you find it unfair? Most of the deaths in Brogue.
No, I think I can always like look at a death in Brogue and be like, I know what I did wrong or what I should have done differently.
Yeah, because with the randomness, with like the unknown scrolls and potions and stuff. Actually, do you ever? Because playing Brogue, I haven't played a lot. Lots of the items have like gibberish names and stuff. Is that like actually tied to an effect? Like if you play it enough and you get the scroll of blah, 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 if you get that again, will it do the same thing, or is it just like randomized and you never know?
No, it's randomized between runs, so I think the names are always the same.
Okay.
So however many scrolls there are, like 11 or so, there's like 11 names. Same with the potions, like there's like 10 colors or whatever, and the colors are randomized.
Yeah, okay. But it's consistent then, right? So if you work out what the cyan potion
no, it's not. It changed, like it's consistent within the run.
Yeah, within the run.
The game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I was asking. Okay, cool. So there is
like Brogue is really nice to you. Like it, like if you use a blue potion, you'll know what the blue potion is.
And every single blue potion you pick up from that, it'll tell you.
Will be called like whatever potion.
Okay, was. That's good actually. That's pretty accessible, I guess. I doubt that's something that older roguelikes would have had. Right?
Yeah, I'm not sure on some of the specifics. I've only played like a tiny bit of like NetHack, ADOM, Angband, but I haven't got really deep in those like older games.
Yeah, because Brogue, when was that? Like, I looked it up a while ago. 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
No, it's the like most traditional roguelike I've played, and I think it's like it's really distills all of those like roguelike elements, those traditional roguelike elements, into a more accessible package. Like it actually looks okay.
Yeah, it's surprisingly
you can tell what all the monsters do. Like there's no like there's actually very little hidden information in the game.
Yeah, after playing for a bit, like, cause I was playing before, obviously, and you're kind of coaching me through it. But most of it is information that's given to you. Like when I first booted it up after you like linked it in the Discord, I was like, Jack, I'm gonna hate this. I'm gonna pick this so I can just talk about how much I hate it on the next podcast episode. But no, it's just a lot at first, but once you get used to it, I think the thing that screws me up is because I think I have like sort of mild undiagnosed dyslexia, but because everything is just letters, including the actual words, it screws with my head.
Okay, yeah. Well, wait till you get a potion of hallucination.
Oh boy, no.
That's like the most word soup stuff you'll ever see.
Yeah.
There's like a comment I see online about Brogues. Often people like describe it. It looks like clown vomit. Just all these like rainbow colors everywhere.
I don't know. I like, what's that other famous ASCII game? Dwarf Fortress, I think it is.
Yeah.
Have you played that?
I've played like a tiny bit. It's very hard to get into. The UI is very obtuse.
Yeah, because I had a look at like some screenshots of that whenever someone brought it up, and I was like, man, I don't think I can play a game like this. And when I opened up Brogue, I was like, man, this looks exactly the same as that. I'm gonna fall apart. But no, it's actually it's fairly accessible if you give it a chance, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, like Dwarf Fortress, the developers are working on a graphical port for Steam.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and so, I don't know if they're actually fixing the UI, because that's the main thing. Like, everything is, like, pretty much hotkeys, and you have to learn them all.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
But yeah, like, they give it, like, I don't know, there's games like RimWorld and stuff that are in a similar vein. If they gave it, like, a mouse and keyboard interface...
RimWorld is, like, crazy. Like, I've seen, like, some, like, screenshots of that. There just seems to be too much shit on the screen. Like, I don't know if I could
ever Dwarf Fortress is like that times 10. Like, but if they gave it a RimWorld interface, the game would be more popular. Like, people want to get into this game, but it's just very obtuse.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you really gotta handle with in Brogue. I think that's a pretty common like old terminal thing to have things corresponding to like the starting letter of each like word and action and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was playing, you know, Lena Raine, the composer of Celeste.
Yeah.
You know, do you know her like side project, her indie like independent game?
She makes visual novels.
Yeah,
right?
I started playing one of her visual novels, and it was like set in this sort of, it was a terminal game, right? It was set in a terminal, and then I saw the sort of similar control scheme to a Brogue does. I was like, oh, cool. Actually, you know, I understand the context behind this now. It's not just a Brogue thing. Because obviously, people in my generation would be completely oblivious, or most people would be completely oblivious to that's how games were played, you know, back in the day.
Yeah, unless you've like used Linux or like used the terminal a lot. Like a lot of roguelikes are very obtuse in that way. You can actually play Brogue completely with the mouse though.
Yeah, is it? Because I was moving my mouse around and stuff. It was actually like doing stuff. So if if you just like click to a square, does it just move you there?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it's probably like way slower though, to be fair.
Right? Oh, it's the same. Like it uses like the optimal path pretty much.
Oh right, okay. Oh, maybe I should.
I use it sometimes. Like
I
use the mouse sometimes. Like if I'm in like one area of the dungeon and I want to go like to a locked door or something like that. Like I've just got the key and I want to go to like a locked door. I'll just hover my mouse over instead of like putting in all the commands to walk over there.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. And obviously they probably wouldn't have had that back in the really old traditional roguelikes.
Yeah, well, like Brogue isn't actually in a terminal. Like it's actually a graphical game. Yeah, and, like scales and stuff, which is like impossible to do on a terminal.
Yeah. Speaking of controls, you got up me halfway through playing before because I wasn't using the diagonal movement. Yeah, and that's is that something that's in lots of games you play, or is it just these like old school?
Most traditional roguelikes have diagonal movement, and they use VI keys. Or numpad.
Because that stuffs me up completely. Because I mean, I don't know when I started playing games, but after like about a decade of playing games, right, I've never had to control a character in that way with a numpad, and it's like relearning how to move.
Yeah,
it's like how when you oh, sorry, go.
You go.
It's like when you see like kids picking up like games on the computer, like Flash games for the first time. who haven't played before, and they're just so clumsy with the arrow keys. It's like, or no, with WSAD, when someone they only used arrow keys and they go to WSAD and they're so tripped up. But like to us, it's just like, you know, it's WSAD. It's not that complicated, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another example of that. Like, I was into arena shooters for a while, like playing a lot of like Quake and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like, there's like 9 weapons in all those games. So like you can't reach all of them normally. So what most people do is instead of WASD, they use ESDF. So they have more keys around you. And I tried doing it for a while, and it's like, it just trips you out. Just, like, you're only one row across, but like, just messes with everything.
I know, especially with lots of I've had to learn how the Xbox controller layout is, because I'm a PS4 kid. I grew up on PS4. So when I play with controller on my PC or my laptop, some of the games only have like support for Xbox. So I get all these Xbox prompts, and it confuses me so much because I don't know where any of the buttons are. It's just like press Y. I'm like, I don't know where Y is. Which one is it?
Yeah, I think that's on the game developers. Like,
yeah, do you think
it's not that difficult to add different buttons?
You just need different graphics, right? You just have to make a
yeah. I feel like Xbox to control, like, because it was very easy. Like, I think they're about the same.
They're the same now,
yeah. Like the level of difficulty to use them, but like they were very like pretty much the only thing you'd use on PC.
Yeah,
for a while.
Plugging a PS3 controller into your computer is a nightmare.
Yeah, so that's why like Xbox prompts became dominant, which is it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Hopefully, I think more games are doing it into the future now. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's like those little touches that like will like not turn someone off your game. I think are really important.
Yeah, and
if your game is actually good, you don't want to hide it behind all this extra stuff.
Yeah, I was super bummed out. I played heaps of Rayman Legends when I was younger, like on the PS3.
Oh yeah,
and it was free on like the Ubisoft store for a bit.
Yeah.
And I got it, I installed it, and I was so excited to play. I plugged my controller in, and it just won't work. It just doesn't have PS4 controller support for PC, and it's like, it's horrible. I know.
You could use something like Joe to Key, maybe.
Yeah. See, I don't know what it is, right? I think it thinks it's an Xbox thing and like flips stuff around, because the same thing happens with lots of Steam games, but you have to enable like PS4 config support like in the settings.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess that does something to the computer and lets the game know that it's changed to do that. Because because I don't know, it's super bizarre, because when you're developing for controllers, which I've done, I haven't made a game with like full controller support, but I've done some stuff with it in Unity. And the different like I guess I can't remember how you do it, like different keys for input from a controller. It varies between a Xbox and a PS4 controller. So you have to you actually have to do those things separately. It's bizarre. It's like what's the far bottom like button on the Xbox controller? Is it A? A, right?
I don't know.
I'm gonna assume it's A. Whatever. It's the southmost button. Like, why is
is it like A? If you go like around in a circle, is it like
A, B,
A, X, Y, B? If you go clockwise.
Oh yeah, A, X, yeah, something like. Oh yeah, because it's just like the old Nintendo ones, right? I think so. I have no idea. But either way, like,
I've never owned an Xbox, so I don't really know.
No, worst person to be asking.
Yeah, I remember I played, like, I was on my friend's Xbox one time, and he had, like, a knockoff controller. And for some reason, it had, like, these, like, black and white buttons that were, like, in the middle.
Okay.
So it had the normal, like, start and, like, whatever...
Options,
like,
or whatever it is, share.
Options button that... I'm not sure exactly what they normally have on the Xbox. But it had, like, these white and black buttons. And they just didn't do anything, but I thought they were, like, a thing. So I'm there playing, like, Spider-Man 2 and just, like, pressing these and trying to figure out what they do, but I just... think they were like, you know how some like old controllers had like turbo buttons or something like that? It was like a turbo button.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. It was very weird.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, synchronized. Nice.
Yeah, we're both just like, oh my god, what were we talking about? Completely forgot.
Yeah. Well, I actually wrote down like a list of my favorite roguelikes or ones that I've played.
Yeah. Do you want to go through them?
Did you write a list as well?
I have a list of all the roguelikes I've played, and I can just pick some.
Okay, yeah. Well, I've got 5 here. I think I'll just go through like the list and we can could do like one each.
Okay. Yeah, and then swap between. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Trade it back.
Yep.
Yeah. So my first one, I've got Nuclear Throne.
Okay, have
you played this?
No, I have not, but I have heard about it and I've seen like some gameplay of it.
Yeah. So it's by the same people as it's by Vlambeer.
Okay.
Have you heard of them?
I don't think I have. What have they done?
Same people as Ridiculous Fishing.
What? I've not heard of Ridiculous Fishing.
Okay, it's like an iPhone game.
Okay.
Where you like fish with like dynamite and stuff.
All right.
Yeah, it's one of those games that got like cloned so horribly.
Okay.
By so many people on iOS. And then they also made like Super Crate Box, which is free on Steam.
Okay, yeah. I haven't not heard of
They're
that.
pretty big in the indie world.
Yeah,
I've some of them.
I've heard of like Nuclear Throne comes up heaps when people are talking about, I guess, graphics in general too, right?
Yeah. Well, it's got a very nice, clean pixel style. The theme is really cool as well. I think it's kind of like this deserted wasteland, and you're looking for the nuclear throne, like to try and sit on it.
Yeah. How many
basically?
I guess pixel art like deserty games are? Not a lot, right?
Not many.
Yeah, that's a pretty unique.
I love the desert aesthetics. Like there's some cool games like Journey and stuff. That kind of desert theme is very cool.
Yeah, especially nuclear stuff too. Like,
yeah.
I guess you got Fallout, but not much else.
Yeah, so Nuclear Throne is basically the gameplay loop is like you go through a level, you pick up different weapons on the ground, and you collect.
It's sort of like Gungeon?
You collect radiation, and at the end of the level, you get to pick a mutation to enhance your character.
Okay, all right. That's similar to kind of like Dead Cells. At the end of every like stage, you get exactly that. You literally get a mutation, which is
yeah. So you get a choice of 3.
Yeah, same.
Okay, yeah. Maybe Dead Cells.
Yeah, Dead Cells.
Dead Cells.
Dead Cells obviously, I'm assuming now, has definitely drawn some inspiration from Nuclear Throne.
What I like about Nuclear Throne is it's very fast, and like it's also like pretty brutal. Like you take a lot of damage, you don't have very much health.
Yeah.
I think the starting, there's this character Fish, his ability is rolling. And he's like the basic character. I think he has like 4 health or something like that. Like it's not a lot. And you can upgrade it to like 6. It's not very much.
Yeah, and it's sort of like it's bullet hell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say it's more brutal than Gungeon?
I think I've gotten further in it than Gungeon. Like I'm not very good at Gungeon.
I'm awful at Gungeon. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've beaten Nuclear Throne, but I've made it to the throne before.
Okay, it's a final boss.
Yeah, you have like less options. Like you pretty much have to dodge bullets. You can't you can't roll through them like in Gungeon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
well, I guess that's more traditional.
Yeah, it's a lot of like hiding, and then like peeking out at the right moment. But one cool thing is like all the terrain is destructible, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like there's bosses and enemies, and you can get different weapons that also destruct terrain. Yeah, and also the game is infinite. You can just keep looping at the end of the game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Risk of Rain
so there's like runs on YouTube that are like 4 hours long, and yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah, no, Risk of Rain like 1 and 2 both do that. Risk of Rain 2 doesn't actually have an ending yet. You know, Risk of Rain 1, you could like there's an option to go fight the final boss, or you can just keep going if you really want to.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for Nuclear Throne. What's your next pick?
If I'm gonna throw one in there, I guess because I was talking about Gungeon already, we'll go to Gungeon now.
Okay.
Gungeon, I have like no hours on Steam, but I played it on the PS4 a lot. And this was one of the games that got me into indie games. I found it through Good Games at one point. And I think I've played more 2-player Gungeon, like co-op Gungeon, than I have single player.
Oh yeah, I've played co-op as well. It's pretty good.
I know, yeah. Especially because it turns like the chests if your friend's dead into like revive things instead. Yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, you're always playing together, and even when you're dead, you're like a ghost, and you can like do like mini blanks around your mates.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not like your shitty brother when he dies, he's complaining until you beat the stage to get him back.
Yeah. Yeah, I've played with friends that I'm like much worse than, so I'm just like always a ghost.
Yeah. No, I always played with my brother, and I was always the person carrying him, and he would always.
Nice. That's a good feeling.
Yeah. But no, I like Gungeon because I don't know. I guess it's pretty simple, like, but it's had a lot of expansions since its release. Actually, like there's heaps of. When was the last time you played it?
I've played it like a little bit, like a couple weeks ago, but
Okay.
I'd never get that far.
Yeah,
There was like that update, the Dungeons and Dungeons
and Dragons.
update.
Yeah, and I think they even had another one after that. Like there's heaps of.
Yeah. Well, there's a sequel now.
Yeah, on iOS, right?
It's on PC as well now.
Oh, is it? Is it
It's like
any
a
good?
side-scrolling platformer bullet hell. It's pretty
I've
interesting.
seen some.
Looking.
I saw like the trailer for it.
Yeah, I have no idea how you'd actually play it on iOS. Like, it seems like the worst genre.
Yeah,
to-
yeah, it seems awful. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
There is a. Have you played Soul Knight on iOS?
I don't even know what that is.
It's like
I don't have iOS.
It's like a. Oh no, it's on. I'm pretty sure it's on Android as well. Whatever you use.
Okay, yeah.
But it's like, it's a top down like bullet hell. It's pretty much like a crap ripoff of Gungeon on mobile.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to check it out, but like it has like, I think it has like auto aim and stuff because you just can't do that on iOS. So most of it's the dodging and the switching between weapons. I don't know. But lots of people I know, like, because I'm still in high school, and you see all the little kids on the bus playing on their iPads. That's what they're all playing. So
They're playing that. They're playing like bullet hell games. Okay.
yeah. Well, I mean, some of them, the ones with like a slightly alright taste. Instead.
Okay. Well, like I think the game that was big on the bus. It was like Slither.io.
Yeah, no, the IO games I think are dying out now. No one's playing them anymore. It's so
Really?
it's so sad. Because like, I mean, some of them are alright. You play with your mates and they're fairly simple.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like a genre that has like very low barrier to entry. It's very easy to understand what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I don't know why why do you reckon they died? I don't know.
They're probably hard to monetize, right? Like,
that's true. I guess they just flick up an ad every time you die, though.
yeah, but like no one's selling an IO game on Steam. Like,
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and they probably lack depth as well.
Yeah, they can't really retain their attention for long enough, to be fair.
Yeah. And in a format like that, it's really hard to add depth. Like, yeah.
Yeah, what are you meant to do? Yeah, how like Agario. Agario is the most boring game in the entire planet. Like, sorry.
You move like so slowly.
I know, and there's nothing to do. You have like two options, right? You can either split or like shoot stuff out. And it's like I don't know why people keep asking for it for Free Games Friday, and I don't know why. It's not fun.
Yeah, I think Slither.io is a much better game.
Yeah, because at Slither.io, at least you can like, if you're small, you can still kill the people above you.
Yeah,
it's not just like
and it's
idle for 30 minutes before you actually play.
And it's like somewhat tactical as well. Isn't there like a speed up option? I haven't played it.
Yeah, it's like a boost. Yeah. So you like catch your boost and you go when you can like cut people off like that.
Yeah.
I actually think I think that's genuinely one of the better IO games.
Yeah, I haven't played that many of them. So
no, yeah, I'm not an IO expert or anything,
Okay, we should get an IO You should get an IO expert for your next.
Yes, whoever's listening, if you think you are IO expert, leave at least 10 of the top IO games down below, and that'll be your submission form.
Yeah, you'll have to defeat Desh in an IO battle.
Yeah.
To be on the podcast though.
Yeah, because if you can't beat me, I don't think you're much of an expert.
Yeah.
Oh man. What are we up to? Talking about Gungeon.
We're talking about Gungeon.
Talking about Gungeon. I haven't beat it. I've gotten like you've got with Throne. I haven't beat it. I've got up to the final boss.
Okay.
But I lost, and I just didn't really play it after that because I don't have much motivation to play it anymore because all my progress is on the PS4. I have it on Steam, but it's like I don't have anything unlocked. It's just kind of like I've already kind of unlocked all this stuff. I don't want to have to do it again,
Yeah, that's the thing with like a lot of roguelites is they have like those progression unlocks and stuff.
Yeah. What does it? Dead Cells does it. Gungeon does it.
Yeah, Isaac has it to like a huge extent.
Yeah, Crypt the Necrodancer does something interesting, right? So you know how like you can usually like add items, unlock items to add to the item pool. Yeah. In Necrodancer you can then like pay to remove items from the item pool. So you
wow, yeah, that's really interesting.
I know, yeah. So I was like, that's something. The very first game me and Monarch made was actually a really shitty roguelike that I don't even have anymore.
Okay.
But that was a feature that we just took in, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's add that into the game.
So can you like once you remove the item, can you get it back, or is it like
No, I think you can.
per
I
run,
think it
or,
just
like-
adds. No, it's like a permanent thing, right? I think you can like if you play enough, you can curate the pool of items that will spawn in,
Okay.
which is pretty interesting and pretty risky, like design wise too, because you could see that being pretty abusable.
Yeah, well, that's similar. There's like there's these like. Have you heard of legacy board games?
I have not. Is that like a company or a?
No, so it's like a style of board games, but I think it is like I don't know if it's one company are doing it, but they usually like there'll be like a regular version of the game, and then they'll release like the legacy version of that board game.
All right.
And what happens in the like so there's like legacy pandemic, legacy risk, and there's some games like Gloomhaven and stuff that are legacy by default.
All right.
And what happens in them is like you play a campaign in the game. So like, have you played Pandemic?
I haven't played Pandemic. I played Risk. Is that?
Okay, I haven't played Risk.
Oh
so
man, that's
basically like yeah, the worst situation. Basically, like you play a season. So I think like Pandemic. Basically, you're trying to cure a global pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like in the legacy version, at the end of each like game, you'll like open a little box of cards, and it'll be like, oh, take these cards out, like light them on fire. You don't use them anymore, and you get these new cards. Like you might have different characters or different abilities, or like the actual game rules change.
Oh, cool.
As you play the
Okay,
game.
yeah. So it is like those like new roguelike games.
Yeah,
Where do you
except
think...
you're like not ripping up cards and stuff.
Yeah. Did those board games would have been before this sort of resurgence of the roguelikes then, right?
I'm not sure. I think like Pandemic, like they're only like in the last 5 or 10 years. I'm not super into board games, so I don't know, but I've definitely seen them like around.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I've never played a legacy game, but like you'd have to have a very dedicated group.
Yeah. What if because it's not much point if you only really play the game one time, I guess. But I guess it does add variety for those people who are really into those games, because there are people who are really into their board games.
Yeah.
What is there anything else I wanted to say about Gungeon? No, I think it's pretty solid. Oh, they do that. They do the exact same thing we do with our lighting for our game. Like it's actually in 3D, but they make it look 2D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know that until I saw like this tweet in like a random Discord one time that had like the Unity scene view of the thing, and I was like, oh, damn, that's cool. Oh,
yeah, nice.
Fun fact: I have seen one of the developers of Enter the Gungeon talk at a panel in PAX, and he was talking about when he went to Devolver to get it published yet.
Yeah.
And he said he literally went in like super drunk and he got the thing still. Like that was his whole story. He was like so pissed when he went in for the interview, and he somehow got it.
Yeah.
And his advice was like, you know what, just because it worked for me, fellas, don't recommend.
Okay. I guess the good game shone through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my main complaint with Gungeon is like the upgrades don't feel meaningful enough.
What do you mean?
Like I get something and I'm like, where does this change? Like it's like so situational.
Wait, upgrades? Wait, hold on. I'm trying to recall the last time I played Gungeon. Was it upgrades?
You know, you'll get like some like artifact or whatever, and it'll be like, oh no, you shoot out of like the back of your head.
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
This is like so useless.
Yeah, yeah. Like now your bullets are like squares. It's like cool.
Yeah. I feel like I like roguelikes where like by the end of the game, what you're doing is so different.
It's crazy.
From the beginning of the game.
No,
like
you usually only get like 3 or 4 like by the end of a dungeon run anyway.
Gungeon feels very samey.
Yeah, and I guess most of the variation comes from the guns themselves, but at their roots, they all do the same thing too, I guess.
Yeah, they all shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fair enough complaint. Right. And then heading back to you.
Okay, my next game, it might be on your list as well, is Risk of Rain.
Yeah, and I think this is a good one regarding what we were just talking about, how it changes the items, variation and stuff.
Oh, like over your run? Yeah, like...
Because that's Risk of Rain's whole thing, right? Is that you become this massive thing of items.
Yeah. Have you ever played with the glass artifact?
I assume I would have back when I played the game. I've played a lot with...
That's the one that lets you can choose from every chest.
Oh, isn't that the command
item
one?
you want to get?
The command?
Oh, command, yeah. Glass is the one where you're really weak and really strong. Yeah. Command, is the one where you're
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
get to
play
choose
with
items.
that all the time. When I
yeah.
used to play.
That's like the fun.
Yeah.
You'll win every time, but like you'll have fun.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't. When I was like younger and played it, I had no idea what any of the items did. I was like, you know what? Leeching seeds sounds so OP, right? Deal damage, heal me. I'll never be able to die. So all I took was leeching seeds, and never got far at all. I was like, what? How is this not working?
Yeah. Okay.
But now
I think Risk of Rain is like such like an underrated. I don't think many people talk about it.
I
But
know.
like,
Yeah, Risk of Rain 2 blew up like crazy. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I guess because it's it's a shooter. Like now it's just
I think
3D
the studio has the worst name ever.
Yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's like
It's like Hoopu.
yeah, Hoopu Games. What is that meant to be? It's a bird, right?
No, like their logo is like a poo, right?
Oh no, it's not. It's
That's
like a
what-
feather or something. Wait, what is it? I thought it was like Hoopu Game. Hoopo? No, see, like I can't even find them looking them up.
HOPO.
Yeah, Hoppu Games. Yeah, what is that? It's like a HG, and I don't know what that's meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is. It does like there's actually not a lot of randomness in the game. Like there's
Yeah.
like set levels.
That's what I was gonna say about like both Risk of Rain 1 and 2. They're pretty like linear in terms of everything apart from the items.
Yeah. But it's still like it's a fun time. You just like kind of mowing through enemies. It's cool to get more powerful.
I don't know. It's so satisfying, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It's got that cool like like over an hour you build up, or like however long your run is going to take. Maybe only 30-40 minutes. Like you build up and you're very different to how you were at the beginning. Like there's a real sense of progression.
yeah, like if you look at like
Which is
10
very
seconds of what's happening at like the start of your run compared to the end of the
Yeah.
run, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think the sound design is just so great. Like the music is like
Yeah,
it's
no, it's
awesome.
very cool. Yeah.
And just the
pixel art in the first game.
it
like,
looks great.
so
yeah.
cool. It's very like it's tiny, but it's so readable. Like yeah.
I know you're never confused as to what's like happening, despite everything being so small, which I think some games with like lower resolution suffer from,
Yeah.
but not Risk of Rain. How do you feel
I
about?
pretty much played all my hours on Chef.
Yeah, that's
like-
what I did as well. Chef was my favorite
Yeah.
character. I'm so sad that he didn't make it into Risk of Rain 2.
He'd be hard to translate. Like
Yeah, I reckon. I don't know. They already have like a boomerang equipment in like Risk of Rain 2.
Okay.
So I guess they could just copy paste that code
Yeah.
and turn it into.
hopefully he does come back.
You played much Risk of Rain 2 because it doesn't really run well on your laptop.
It doesn't work on my computer, so I haven't played much. I when I get a new computer, I'll definitely be playing it. Like it seems like the thing I would like.
It's great. It's definitely
Yeah.
one of the best sequels ever because it's the same. It's that same core loop, right?
Yeah.
With the same hook and everything. Now it's just 3D.
Yeah.
And they've added lots of cool other stuff to go with it. But now everything.
I was pretty doubtful about that.
Were
They
you?
announced
Were you
it.
skeptic?
Yeah, I was like, how's this game gonna work?
No,
in
I was
3D?
pumped. Maybe because I was like pretty young when they announced it, but I was like, oh yes, 3D shooter, Risk of Rain, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But I was
It's like
I was on the hype train.
Yeah, I've never seen a shooter with like such huge environments. It's very different to what else is out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of the art style? Like the transition between?
Yeah, it looks nice. It's reasonably similar, like reasonably low poly.
I know. And it has like these
yeah.
weird shaders that you probably won't get unless you play it. But it has these really weird like I don't know. It's called like spacey. They're sort of like toon shaders, but then they're like modified.
Okay.
And it looks really weird, like some of the stuff. But they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I haven't played it enough to see that.
Because
I think like
oh yeah, sorry, you go.
I think like roguelike shooters is like a pretty unexplored genre.
Yeah.
There's some okay games, but like none that have really blown me away. And I probably need to play more Risk of Rain.
Yeah, because I mean,
Too.
I understand why it blew up so much. Not just with the
Yeah.
indie game community. It had like 5 million downloads in like the first couple of weeks or something.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But it's because it's literally like people love looter shooters, right? Just like mowing stuff down and getting items. That's all Risk of Rain is.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
see.
no, there's some other games, other like roguelike shooters I've played that I really didn't enjoy.
Oh, yeah?
There's one called, I don't know, do you like shit on games in this podcast?
Yeah, no, yeah. The entire Samsara room review It's just me like shitting on the game, and then Max trying to say, "No, it's not
Yeah,
that bad. Calm down." Like, no, it sucks.
If I was on it, I would have been like, yeah, the puzzles suck, but I don't know. That was a weird game.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
There's this game called Tower of Guns.
Okay.
And I just played that, and it felt horrible, and like. And there's another game called Strafe, which is more like it goes for that like edgy like 90s shooter style game. But both these games, they just like, I don't know, something about the randomness feels really unfair. But I think in Risk of Rain, because it is kind of like an easy game, it doesn't feel unfair. Like you just like, it's enjoyable to level up and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I don't feel like all these obviously one of the probably the hardest qualities to nail in a roguelike is, you know, difficulty but still keeping it fair.
Yeah.
And I think all the ones that do that pretty well. Sometimes
another tricky thing is like making because you're going to play the beginning of the game the most, like because you have to play it every time. The beginning of the game also needs to be one of the most interesting parts of the game.
It still needs to be engaging, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really difficult thing to do.
And I don't know, do you reckon Risk of Rain pulls that off well? Because, like, realistically, there's not much you can do. But I guess finding the teleporter, like, as fast as you can, I guess.
That's, like, the only thing. Like, Risk of Rain doesn't actually have a lot of choice in it.
Yeah, there's nothing, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of weird when you, like, I think, like, Risk of Rain kind of fails in those aspects when you, like, break it down. But it's still a satisfying game to play.
Yeah. In Risk of Rain 2, I think there's heaps more choice now, because 3 dimensions, obviously. It's not just go left or go right. Where's the teleporter? Because there's all these...
Yeah, I think, like, in multiplayer, it's more strategic in that sense.
Yeah.
Because you can, like, spread out, and then, like, you might want to group up when you find the boss and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, the maps in Risk of Rain, you know, 2 are, like, way more... There's heaps of verticality, there's heaps of, like, chasms and, like smaller areas and everything. It's not just this big open map where you go left or right and find the teleporter. Which I think is a really big up in that regards.
Yeah. And I guess there is a strategy in that, like, you can stay longer on a level to, like, grind for more money or something like that.
Yeah, and balance the time difficulty with you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not too well developed, I think, in that sense. But
yeah, I think they definitely made some improvements with their sequel, which is good.
Do you have another game to talk about?
Do I have another game? I'm looking through now. What have I played? Slay the Spire. You haven't played that, have you?
I haven't played it.
Yeah, I've played.
I don't really know what it's about. I know it's got cards in it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a turn-based sort of like dungeon crawler, right?
Yeah.
Like turn-based and sort of like as in like Pokemon style turn-based, not Brogue style turn-based.
Yeah, so it's like battles.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But instead of like choosing your moves,
turn-based combat.
Yeah, turn-based combat. But instead of choosing your moves, you have like this deck of cards. And you like build the deck as you go through the dungeon. And it's pretty...
I've never really looked into it because I've never really enjoyed turn-based combat games.
Oh, yeah?
But I know a lot of people do like it, so I probably should look into it more.
It's pretty good. It doesn't feel like... You don't get those moments where you sit there for 5 minutes like thinking, man, what the fuck is the best move to do here? What am I meant to do, right? Which is something that I don't really like about, you know, something like like Wargroove, a game like Wargroove. Do you know what Wargroove is?
I don't know. You've talked about it a lot, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, it's do you know Advance Wars?
Is that like a tower defense game?
No, it's not.
Something else.
I've run out of stuff. Do you know Fire Emblem?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like Advance Wars cross Fire Emblem. It's like a sort of war, but like turn-based, like battle game.
So are you like commanding like units? Or
yeah, you're commanding units, like all the units, and it's all about positioning and stuff. And it's turn-based, and that kind of turn-based, I mean, I enjoy it. It's like kind of like chess sort of turn-based, right?
Yeah.
But there's so much going on the screen. It takes me like an hour to complete a single turn, right? And I think that's probably the turn-based that sort of turns you off, like where there's so much different options where you don't know what to do. Is that what, like, yeah, why do you get turned off by turn-based games?
I don't know. It's like I've played like Pokemon and like a couple like RPGs before and not really enjoyed them. I just feel like the battles take like a long time.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
I think Slay the Spire probably must distill all that down.
Yeah, no, it's so fast.
The cards,
yeah. I think it addresses lots of those things. It makes it really accessible for people who aren't into those turn-based stuff. And it feels like a card game. It really kind of does feel like a card game.
Okay.
I don't know if you play.
Like, could it be made physical? Like,
no,
with some...
no. I don't think you could. because I don't know, lots of reasons. It doesn't feel like it's something that you should transition.
Okay, yeah. So it definitely uses the video game medium.
Yeah,
So
it's not just like
being a
yeah,
card
it's
game.
just it's not like a digital version of Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh or something.
Yeah, it's not Monopoly for PS4.
Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed that. I've only played like 20 hours. I'm not sure how much replay ability there is. It's like the 4 different characters. But there's only like a certain amount of like cards you can unlock for to be able to be spawned in each run.
Yeah.
From that point, it's kind of like you've had enough. But what they do for progression is they just have like it's called like Ascension. So if you beat the game on like Ascension like 1, oh wait, yeah, Ascension 1, then you go to Ascension 2, and each Ascension like adds like another hard aspect, like more elite spawn or something,
Yeah.
and it keeps going.
So similar to Nuclear Throne and games like that.
Yeah, I think Dead Cells does it as well. But that's how it deals with like adding more content. And I guess I'm not a big fan of that. It's like my reward for beating the game, my extra content is
more games.
It's just more of the same thing, but it's now harder.
Yeah. It's probably the easiest way to add extra content is like just make your game. You just play it again.
Yeah, just bump up the difficulty coefficient on all your stuff, and there you go. Here's more content, guys. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But no, that's another game. I enjoyed that.
How do the cards work? Do you like pick cards for your run, or like do you find new cards as you go?
Yeah, so you have like the starting deck, right? And your starting deck's always the same. And then as you go through the run, you at the end of each battle, you can like you get a selection of like 3 cards that you can choose from. You can pick none if you want. And that's a strat too. You don't want to like fill your deck up with every single fucking card you see, right? Because otherwise you can't like fine tune it. There'll be less of a chance to get what you want. It'll become more random. So it's a real strategy, like building the right deck as you go through, and you can remove cards as you go through as well. So you're like trying to thin it down to, some cohesive strategy. It doesn't feel. I mean, RNG is a bit more like prevalent than something like Gungeon. But it still feels fair enough. Like you can lose with a shitty. I mean, you can win with like if you get shitty cards still.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely try it out. It's gotten a lot of praise. So
yeah, I got it when I was on special, and it was like $15. It's worth $15. Like I played it for like 25 hours or something.
Yeah.
Cool. You would have some more on the list? I reckon we'll just go through a couple more because it's going for a while now.
Yeah, it's gone pretty well. Well, the next game on my list is Brogue. We've already talked about that quite a lot, and I think you're going to talk about it in the future as well.
Yeah.
Second, I had Binding of Isaac.
Yeah.
Which I know you haven't played, which is so shameful.
It's a sin. Yeah.
Yeah. I've played this game like a lot. I played the original Flash version.
Oh man.
Which was on Steam. Like it was still on Steam game, but it was a Flash game. Which like was incredibly buggy, very weird, but like just like I don't know, it's a very satisfying game. The cool thing is like all the upgrades really change your character a lot.
Yeah, as opposed to something like Gungeon.
Yeah. And there's like there's a lot of kind of there's alternate paths and stuff you can take at the end of the game.
Okay.
So depending on like what your run looks like, you can decide to take the easier one or the hard one, and then like there's heaps of unlocks. Like you have to pretty much beat the game like in every single configuration to get everything. There's like probably like 500 items. I don't know how many items there are, but there's a lot of things you can unlock. There's like, heaps of characters. There's mod support, which is pretty cool. And then there's actually a new update coming out as well.
Really,
soon.
Man? Yeah, I can see.
So basically, they're putting in this. There's this fan made mod called it was called Anti-Birth, and they're putting it in as they're like redoing the mod and making it official, and it's called Isaac Repentance. And it has like an entire alternate path, so you can like. There's the normal path where you go through all the floors, but then there'll be an alternate version that's harder of every single floor.
Okay. Maybe
so much content.
Yeah,
like
maybe
content overload. You can play this game for like many, many thousands of hours if you want to.
Yeah, maybe when it drops, that'll be my perfect time to come in and finally give it a go.
Just get overwhelmed with everything. Yeah.
I think that like makes it seems bizarre to me, like from looking at like the gameplay that I've seen of it. It's like the rooms are in the same like rectangular aspect ratio.
Yeah,
that seems bizarre to me because it feels like it seems weird that because it's so small, right? Something like Gungeon, like the rooms are massive, right? and you can move around.
Well, there are large rooms.
Are there
as well?
Okay.
They added them in the remake that came out in 2012 or whatever. Yeah, the remake.
Yeah.
It's crazy they're still updating this game. Like,
I know. Didn't he make like board games and stuff as well, like the creator?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of spin-offs. He just released like a second board game. Yeah.
Man, he probably has so much money. He's just doing whatever he feels like making, to be fair.
Yeah. I looked at the board game Kickstarter and like I wanted to buy it because it looked pretty cool. It's this game called Tapeworm.
Okay.
Where basically you get to build the longest tapeworm inside someone's stomach, and it's like you place down cards to connect them.
Yeah.
But like the shipping to Australia was insane, so I didn't support it.
Okay. Man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think Emma McMillan, like he's very prolific. Like he's got a bunch of games.
Yeah.
And he supports them pretty well. Like he adds on to them and stuff. But Isaac's definitely like his biggest success.
Yeah. And he's probably got his pockets full.
Yeah.
In terms of other games I wanted to talk about, I didn't really have like any other like massive games I was into.
Okay.
I've played Dead Cells, and if you've heard good things about Dead Cells?
I've heard mixed things about Dead
Cells.
Oh,
really? What are some negative things you've heard about Dead Cells?
I just people it's a bit samey or something,
or
like there's not
that's exactly
notions about
that's exactly my complaint, right? All I hear is all this praise about Dead Cells, and it just makes me like because I don't think it's like this like amazing game. Like in so many like games of the year like tier list, I think it came out the same year as Hollow Knight did. Lots of people are putting it above Hollow Knight. I was like, yo man, slow down there. Because
maybe it was a lot of people's like first roguelike. I'm not sure. Like,
I'm not sure what.
It blew up. Like,
it was massive.
So huge.
I don't understand why. I mean, it's a good. I think it's a good game. It's just I don't know. I can't work out what because it feels really satisfying. Like, don't get me wrong. I sometimes like chuck it on, like in like free periods at school just to smash up some dudes because it's really satisfying. But it just doesn't have that much depth, and every run feels exactly the same. Like there's this after like every single run, after like the 5-minute mark, you have to versus the exact same boss every single run, and it's so boring. It's like go in there, hit it, and then run away, and then go in there and hit it, and then run away. It's like you do that for another 2 minutes, so it's like the first 7 minutes of every run is exactly the same.
Okay.
It's just I don't know. It just doesn't have enough variation, I guess. I mean, it looks pretty. Like the art style is pretty cool, but I just don't think it's one of the best roguelikes of all time. Like I see lots of articles talking about. There's my Dead Cells rant. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not someone's favorite game.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to my TED talk.
Yeah.
I've got one more game I want to talk about.
Okay, I think that will wrap us up then.
Yeah. So this is criminal. This game, no one plays this game, but it is amazing.
Okay.
Do you think you know what I'm talking about? I mention it a lot.
Do you? I have no idea. No.
It's Hoplite, baby.
Oh right,
Hoplite.
yeah, okay.
Game of the year every. No, like this is like it's a phone game. Basically you're like this Roman soldier, and it's on a hex grid, and like the levels are really small. You have to get the Fleece of Yendor, from level, I think it's level 16, and it's like very chess-like.
Yeah.
All the enemies have like predictable patterns, and you have like a very limited set of moves. You have 3 basic moves. You can walk, you can lunge, which is like if you're a square away from an enemy, you attack them and kill them. You can block, which blocks, like it'll push an enemy or like a projectile away. And then you can leap, and leaping takes energy, and all these things have like different recharge times and stuff. It's a very tactical game where like you're thinking about your positioning. You might like move away to cause enemies to like move towards you, and then like kind of think about you kind of plan your way around the level.
You
and
definitely
manipulate.
Yeah. I looked at
you manipulate the enemies to you, and then there's this prayer system where you upgrade all your abilities. But you still only have those 3 basic abilities. And there's kind of different trees you can go down as well.
Okay. Is that like...
It's just a lot of depth packed into like a very simple skeleton.
Is it just for mobile?
I'm a big fan.
Is it just for mobile? Because the aspect ratio is so. Like in that thing. Yeah. After you... Because that was one of your answers for the board game Hellish Tuesday thing.
Yeah.
And I went and looked up like a gameplay video of it. So I actually watched a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And it definitely does feel like a very like a tactical thing. And you said before you're not a fan of like those turn-based combat games, but you are a fan of these.
Of these traditional roguelikes.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
that's
it's
what
not
it
the
comes.
same.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
completely different. Yeah.
for turn-based combat, it's mostly like the time for me. Like when I was playing Pokemon, I'd be like, another one of these. Like,
Yeah,
what am I
no,
doing?
I'm really sick of like grinding in Pokemon. I don't understand why people like it. It's so boring.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
not
don't
fun at
think
all.
with the amount of like games that are out now, if a game has grinding in it, like why are you playing it?
Yeah.
Like that's I think it's a pretty controversial opinion, but like
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like there's a million games, you can never play all of them. Why spend a lot of time doing the same thing that's not fun in one game?
Yeah, I think you overestimate people's exposure to games. Lots of people just play like buy the latest AAA game and then spend like
Yeah,
200 hours on that and then move on to the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I love how the games you've recommended me, Brogue and Hoplite, both when I go to Google them, they don't come up with the
They don't
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always have to go
I'm trying to think
game.
like what the actual like biggest traditional roguelike would be. For like people that are a little bit older, I think like NetHack would be the biggest one that people know, but like I don't know. There's no like huge traditional roguelike on Steam.
Yeah.
Probably like Tome, but you probably haven't heard of that.
No, I'm not like big in the traditional roguelike community.
Yeah. It's a very like niche genre, but there's a lot of depth in it, and yeah,
No, I'm definitely going to.
I'm trying to get more into
Brogue.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, for anyone wanting to get into traditional roguelikes, Brogue would definitely be my recommendation.
Yes, and I can second that. It looks pretty daunting to start off with, but you know, just hop on, just stream it in the Soulcube server, and Jack will just tell you everything, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else I wanted to talk about. There's a couple of other. I've played more roguelikes, but it doesn't mean they're all worth talking about.
Yeah, I did play Spelunky for a lot.
Oh yeah,
I just it's a really well designed game. But I haven't really dug that deep into it. But
yeah, as long as you can acknowledge that, you know, like this is a good product. It's just not my thing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Spelunky 2. Maybe I'll jump back in on Spelunky 2.
Yeah. All right. I think that's probably wrap the podcast up there. Anyway, we didn't even get up to the Tell Us Tuesday, but we've been talking for like an hour.
Yeah. How long is this?
About an hour, I think.
Yeah, an hour.
I think that's a perfect time to wrap up. I hope you all enjoyed the special Jack Roguelike podcast episode. I don't know how off topic we got in certain sections. This is just us talking on a Discord call. Yeah, but hopefully it's interesting. It's not like we started talking about like our favorite like shoe brands or anything.
Well, it is Brogue for me, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
I looked it up on Brogue up on YouTube, and there's like all these videos of people like reviewing shoes.
Oh, a shoe review.
Yeah, very very weird. I'm not into that scene at all.
Yeah, I keep getting because of all this like hashtag stay home with me stuff on the YouTube like recommended page now. It's just all these random videos that I'll never watch that are here. It's like I don't care. I don't care about your butts not abs workout video.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one as well.
Why is it always in my recommended? It's there like every second day. Oh well.
Oh.
Be selective, I guess.
You like glitched out for a second.
Oh no, you went quiet for a second.
Oh wait, is my computer frozen?
Oh no, it's all gone bad.
It's okay. I have a recording on my phone. Okay. I reckon we should wrap it up though.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. All right. Thank you all for watching. Remember to check out all the socials in the description and join our Discord server if you want to, hang out. Hang out with Jack in the Discord server and watch us play Brogue. Otherwise, we'll probably be talking about Brogue next week with the other boys when they're back. So if you still haven't played it, come on, do yourself a favor, go jump into it. Not as daunting as it seems. And what is this? I swear there's one more thing. Oh yeah, leave questions for a Q&A next week when the others are back down below. That's all I need to say. Jack, sign out. Oh. Dead. Man's dead. Jack died, guys. Bye.